All right, guys. All right. We are here, and we're going to talk about COVID. We're going to talk about the lockdowns, and we're going to talk about how it's been handled differently around the world, because this is the important thing. This is the stuff that really does matter. So, Norwegians go wild after government ends 561 days of lockdown with less than 24 hours notice. Celebrations in the street, mass brawls, revelers pass out in club queues. So you got this video here of how the Norwegians are celebrating their life. It's not fair, is it? So this is over in Norway. No masks. No social distancing. Just partying. Remember this, everybody? Because I can't. I can't remember this. It's too far gone. Too far back. But this is over in Norway. And meanwhile, in Australia...
Up in arms and under arrest.
Doing the wrong job, Vic Paul. You.
This is what we got.
Protesters were pulled away by police at the St Kilda skate park.
This is Australia, and this is Norway. This is Australia.
The so-called Millions March for Freedom.
This is Norway. What's the cheapest flight? What's the cheapest plane flight to Norway again? I'm just asking for a friend. But yeah, obviously at the end of the day, that's the stark difference between the two of them, right? Norway is literally out partying like it's 1965. And Australia, well, we're still getting arrested because apparently, COVID bad sort of thing. Right? So at the end of the day, there's a huge difference between the two and how they responded. Obviously, dozens arrested on 6th day of protest. This was on the 25th. So obviously that was a few days ago. I haven't heard much about the protests in Melbourne at the moment, so I'm presuming they're still ongoing. I know there was truck action planned. I've just been busy so flat out with renovating my place at the moment. I haven't had a chance to check the groups and stuff. But yeah, I heard there was something about they were planning to do truck blockades or something this morning or yesterday morning. So obviously that. But there is some self-awareness that does seem to be coming out. The Christianity Daily has Australia become a communist country because of COVID? Now, granted, it's from the Christian Daily and it's no major mainstream media. But people are starting to ask the questions, which is the important thing, because once we start asking questions, then obviously the mainstream media will have to start answering them, right? So the government of Australia is looking for gradually reopening Sydney, which has been under lockdown for several weeks due to a surge of COVID. The catch is that there'll be separate rules for citizens inoculated for COVID versus the undocked folks. Between October 11th and December the 1st, movement restrictions across the country, most populous state, New South Wales, will be eased as vaccination rates hit 70, and 90. Now, what are the new restrictions in New South Wales? Freedom Day. So they're calling it Freedom Day, which don't get me started. So I'm just wondering if we can find. Yeah. Right, so has warned that unvaxxed will not be granted many freedoms. So it's not really Freedom Day, is it? When the state reopens at 80% double dose. And by the way, even the vaccinated people don't have their freedoms yet. They have some. They have some freedoms, but it's yeah. We'll get into it, don't worry. So, New South Wales roadmap. Right. From the Monday after New South Wales hits the 70% vax threshold projected, only fully vaccinated people will be given the freedoms. 5 visitors allowed in a home where all adults are vaccinated. So you can't have more than 5. Outdoor gatherings of up to 20 people. So you're not allowed more than 20 people at a gathering. Hospitality venues allowed 1 person per 4 square meters indoors and 1 person per 2 square meters outside. Retailers open with 1 person per 4 square meters. Hairdressers, nail salons open with 1 person per 4 square meter and up to 5 clients per premises. Gyms and indoor recreation facilities will open with the same 1 person per 4 square meters and up to 20 people per class. Up to 50 people at weddings and funerals, dancing and weddings allowed. Church services allowed with 1 person per 4 square meters, but no signing. Up to 500 people at a ticket at outdoor event. Up to 5,000 people at an outdoor stadium, racecourse, theme parks, zoos, stuff like that. Indoor venues such as cinemas and theatres open with 1 person per 4 square meters, up to 75% of seating capacity. Travel included into regional New South Wales is allowed. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a good start, but you're calling it Freedom Day. You're not free. If you were free, everybody would have unlimited access like we normally used to have. That was freedom. Limiting people and how many people you can have in your house, limiting how many people can be in venues, limiting how many people can be in sports stadiums and stuff like that. That's not freedom. Right? That's, well, look, we know you're getting a little bit sick of the lockdowns and you're having weeks of protests, over in Melbourne at least anyway. So we'll give you back some of them. But, you know, we're still going to keep you locked up and caged. It's a bigger cage. Instead of being caged in your house, you're now just caged in your state. Sort of thing. Look, at the end of the day, is it a great start? Sure. But it's not what they're claiming it is. Words have lost their meaning when it comes to the government. Because at the end of the day, this is not freedom. They're sitting there, and I know people are going to be like, oh, you're nitpicking. Look, I get it, right? It's great. You know, you get some of your freedoms back. But don't go calling it Freedom Day if it isn't actually freedoms. Don't go calling a cat if it's not a frigging cat. You don't go calling a dog a frigging dog if it's not a dog. You don't go calling being free when you're still limiting how many people are allowed in your house. And by the way, they all have to be fully vaccinated. And they're the only ones that get the freedoms. The unvaccinated people, well, you know, you just have to sit at home and twiddle your thumbs because you're not free. By the way, welcome to Freedom Day. Like, really? This is freedom? I think communist China is a little bit more free than that at the moment. So at the end of the day, yeah, I have a big problem when the government starts using these sort of words and they're just literally lying. And everybody, these people that drank the Kool-Aid are like, oh my God, I get my freedoms back. Yes, Freedom Day. You're not free. It's not freedom. It's a carrot on a stick. And of course, then obviously you have the US at the moment, which Joe Biden came out. Let me see if I can bring up that article. He said 98%. So, of course, but to get an idea of what our future is going to be like, because we always follow the US, Biden says up to 98% of Americans need COVID vaccine before we can return to normal life. Norway? Rest of the world. Rest of the world is this. But Norway is okay. So let's just double check. Let's find out. Let's find out how many COVID cases in Norway. No. Oh, wow. They don't seem to be caring about COVID. Daily new cases. Boy, I tell you what, it's going to be really, really inconvenient if it doesn't go up, eh? Can you imagine? Oof. But yeah, obviously at the end of the day, you know, far from no cases. Like they've literally got 600 and something cases. 700, 720 or something cases. So, yeah. And how many people are in? Norway's population is 5.4 million people. So, let's 5474580 divided by 568. 558. Sorry. Damn it, that didn't work. Yeah, I suck at math. But yeah, anyway, like they've got like a fraction of the cases. So, what about Australia? COVID cases. And I think the population is around 25 million. Try and use the world meter because that way it's the same. So we got about 1,000. We got 1,000 for 25 million. They have 600 for 5 million. So we have 5 times the population. So we should have, if we're like keeping in track with Norway, we should have roughly 3,290 cases to be comparative, right? To working out the population and stuff like that. Obviously, you can't do it exactly because obviously demographics and cities and stuff like that. But just using the population numbers are the same. We should have 3,298. We have 1,733. So we actually have less per capita than Dancing Norway, and we're still in lockdown. Makes you wonder why Norway is dancing. Is dancing their life away, so to speak, and having fun and having no restrictions at all. But for a country that has less per capita, we're still being arrested and beaten by the police. Yeah. I didn't mean this video to be blackpilling, but makes you wonder, doesn't it? Guys, let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Would you like to dance like Norway? Or do you think at the end of the day that we should keep in lockdown to try and curb the cases? Let me know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. What's the vaccination rate? Apart from that, guys, obviously the video's been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. I am just checking what is... So they got 84% population vaxxed. And by the way, they also throw out their green card too. And like all passport and all that sort of stuff. So, you know, no world order for them. But guys, let me know your thoughts are in that comment section below. Obviously, this video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, we'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great night and enjoy.